Hoi hoi, it's louisity again, and for this video I'm going to be recommending books to some of WWE's wrestlers. Hoorah! So, in case you didn't know, I watch WWE and I have some favorite wrestlers and I enjoy watching those matches. And whenever you just want to feel tough, watch some wrestling entertainment. So, who am I going to be, selecting and who am I going to be recommending books to? Well then, let's begin and watch this video. First would be the boss, the standard, the blueprint, who runs the blue brand. And that is Sasha Banks, who is, the boss. So I'm thinking when it comes to boss, like an office romance, and I'm going to be talking about the book that I read for Blu-ray Book Club, which is Attachments by Rainbow Rowell. Now, of course, the story is about like three people, basically. Well, it's kind of like three because there's this guy who was hired to do like, email audits, and he runs through all these emails, see if they're violating any policies, any rules, and one of them is, a person who has been like struggling with their marriage, and the other person was just talking about anything, anything in the universe. And the guy, falls in love based on those emails. So I think Sasha is gonna like that office romance. Hoorah! Up next is someone that you will feel the glow, and she is Naomi, a longtime favorite wrestler, and I've always believed in her talent, her skills. Like, I honestly am always rooting for Naomi, and when she won the SmackDown Championship, the SmackDown Women's Championship, I was just so overjoyed. I'm like, she deserved it. She deserved it. And a book that I'm thinking about for her that I think that she will, enjoy, and she would feel like would give her a boost of knowledge and being, speaking up, and I think it's just going to help Naomi, and that would be The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. This follows the story of Star, who had her cousin, shot. And this talked about, police brutality, also discrimination or harm against race. And the thing, like, I've been saying this, every now and then whenever I talk about this book in the videos, one thing that, regardless of what your ethnicity or heritage or in which country you're a part of, that is like ongoing in our society, is like the stigma of someone coming out of prison, and how they talk about opportunities in line with that stigma. So I like that conversation between Star and her dad about it. It's just that part resonated in me a lot because it happens, like, even in the Philippines. Like, I remember having sociology class about that. We were asked, like, hey, do you think will you be hiring somebody who used to be in the prison? So yeah, anyway, I think Naomi's gonna enjoy The Hate You Give. Up next is a female superstar of WWE that's just really rising, and what I like about her is that she knows how to deliver it in the ring, on stage, on camera, like in WWE, and like have a different kind of like character or like she's like a different person outside of WWE. Like, I watched her videos on YouTube and totally different. Now I'm referring to the EST of WWE, who is Bianca Belair. Now, I know that Bianca grew up in Tennessee, so I think that she might be curious about like situations that are happening in other southern states, specifically like southeastern states. And the book that I'm going to recommend Bianca to read would be, of course, an EST book, Sing Unburied Sing by Jasmine Ward. Now, this follows the story of a boy who is living with his family, his mother who has like a lot of substance abuse, and also is you know, being with this guy who's just like, you know, just also whack. And also they get to visit the town where his grandfather grew up, and they get to discover like, you know, unpleasant truths about it. And this also dealt about like prejudice, kind of like also how you being this is not enough, because you know the main character here is biracial, so it's kind of like dealing about their sides, like you know, and all that. So it's pretty interesting. It's going to be a very interesting read, and also it deals with like, you know, Southern prejudice as well. By the way, this story is very like kind of character driven. Well, a lot of contemporary novels are like explained in a manner that's more character driven, because it focuses more on like the situations of the characters. So, which is still pretty good. I found it pretty good. My reading experience with this is pretty good, and hopefully Bianca's reading experience is going to be good as well. Up next is the phenomenal AJ Styles, who built his own house. And you know what? I'd like to recommend a book to AJ that is phenomenal. By the way, AJ Styles, what I like about him is he knows how to put people on great submissions. Good job. Like, that was a great job. Like, one of my favorite matches would have to be like his match against Jeff Hardy. That was like really good. By the way, it is in WWE Raw, because I know that they both worked in TNA Impact, which is now called GFW Impact. And I'm going to be recommending a book to AJ Styles, Safe Haven by Nicholas Sparks. Now, I know this book is set in North Carolina, but I want to give AJ like a Southern feel. And by the way, this is like a romantic thriller. That makes any sense, because this follows the story of Katie, who appeared in like a different town in North Carolina because she was trying to escape her like former lover who was abusing her, and she had like a new identity, and then she meets this guy, and then they know, as usual, fall in love. So we'll just have to see how their love story goes and how Katie's life goes in new life. And probably AJ would find this like an interesting thing, and not too like mushy, cheesy. And if that is also what you're going for, like you like to have some like love, some romance, but not too highlighted in that one, and you want some thrill, then definitely go for this one, because this book is phenomenal. Like, I would have to say that this is one of the best Nicholas Sparks books that I've read, together with A Walk to Remember and See Me. And the last for this video would be Carmella. Now, Carmella needs something that would be fabulous. Something that to me is kind of dramatic, that would be, you know, a code of silence and focus on reading. Trying to do some word puns there. And I'm going to be recommending Something Blue by Emily Giffin. Now, this is technically like the continuation, or like sort of the follow-up or sequel, or kind of like a companion novel for Something Borrowed. Now, Something Borrowed was already turned into a film. And this one, like I said, Something Blue, is kind of like a redeeming book towards like Darcy. So yeah, and I think like this is something that Carmella would find it fabulous, because there's like some redemption, and there's a little, I think there's a little bit of spice. By spice I mean like, you know, tea or hotness, you know, hot beverage alert. Yeah, like spicy is kind of like also hot, so that's why that word came into my head. But I know what y'all are thinking, or maybe I don't. Anyway, Carmella is gonna enjoy Something Blue by Emily Giffin. Feel free to comment down below which books are you going to be recommending to these wrestlers, or what did you think of these books, or you can tell me down below who are your favorite WWE wrestlers. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you made it this far and we're talking about wrestling, so if you've made it, leave a like punch or knuckle emoji going to this side. because we're talking about wrestling, so and if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also click that subscribe button and hit that little bell icon so we're down there to keep yourselves posted about my videos. I'll also be putting down links and handles of my social media accounts, so feel free to check me out and follow me there as well. As always, thank you so much for watching. Always be thankful and unleash the reader in you. Bye y'all.